We're live.
Yeah, Nick and Joe, you ready? Let's go. This is the dog show with Nick and Joe. Off the chain, it's off the leash. Giving some tips and giving advice to help you train your dog. Come see, yeah, it's the podcast. Don't delay, underlay. It's on 2 p.m. every Friday. Time to get hype and excited, yeah. Take your dog to the next level. Nick and Joe, they the best at it. All about canine training, informative and entertaining. Keep it going, so motivating. Give you everything you need and make a wild dog turn super chill and obedient. Nick and Joe, welcome to the dog show. Yeah, download it fast. The dog show podcast. When it comes to canines, this is what you want. Hit the dog show podcast.com. Whoop. The dog show podcast with Nick and Joe. Let's go.
All right, let's get into some show sponsors. We want to thank DemonABiteSuits.com. That's DemonABiteSuits.com. Owner Chris Pelly, super cool guy. By far the absolute best bite suits on the planet. You can look them up at DemonABiteSuits.com. Also, give them a follow on Facebook. They post super cool stuff. So use discount code DOGSHOW. You're going to get 10% off your entire custom suit order. Also want to thank Whistle GPS collars. They're little tags you put on your dog's flat collar. They come with a free app. And on that app, here's what happens. If your dog gets loose around the neighborhood, maybe sneaks out the back gate, you just simply go onto that app and you can actually see where your dog's at in real time. They're pretty cheap too. They're only about $70, but if you use discount code DOGSHOW, you're going to get an additional $15 off of that as well. So thank you to those guys. Finally, we want to welcome our new sponsor, Nature Script CBD. Nature Script is a company that manufactures high-grade hemp products for all members of your household, including pets. Nature Script products are THC-free, providing benefits like better sleep, lower anxiety, and improved mood without wanted side effects. Please use coupon code DOGSHOW for 15% off all products. Hey, Nick, guess what?
What?
Let's bump that shit up to 20% off all products. Use discount code DOGSHOW for 20% off all products, including beef and chicken pet oils. We are excited about today's episode. Let's get into it.
Power up request received. Initiating systems. Powering of transmitters. Live from OLK9 Studios in Virginia, they tell it like they see it. They educated the not so educated, and you'll laugh your ass off. Introducing The Dog Show with Nick and Joe, a podcast with knowledgeable info, rants, and absolute randomness. You're listening to the sounds of uncensored honesty from two of the most respected dog trainers in the industry. Live on Facebook every Friday at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. New episodes available for download every Saturday. The Dog Show with Nick and Joe. Download on iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio.
All right, welcome to episode 32. We are here, and we are excited to be here. We have a couple of bigwigs with us today, Nick.
What?
Yeah. So we have Miss Lori, who is the director for the Prince William Humane Society. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Awesome. And then we have Miss Caitlyn, which is the director for the Fredericksburg SPCA. Ladies, welcome.
Thanks. Nice to be here.
How are you today?
Great.
Awesome. And then, of course, I have my main guy, Mr. Nick White, sitting across the table from me.
What's up, guys?
How are you, sir?
Living the dream.
You just got into town last night?
Yeah, technically this morning.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got in about 1 this morning from California. So I'm a little tired.
And how was the trip?
Good. I had a business meeting, actually, with a dog company there. I don't want to say too much about it yet, but yeah, it's about a cool product that's coming out to the dog world that he wanted to meet with me about, see if I was interested in working with him on it. But yeah, it was really good. And then I had couple days just to screw off and eat food and be lazy. So that was really good.
Yeah. So any big plans for Christmas?
No, kind of chilling. Yeah, nothing really. I am, after Christmas, January 7th, I'm going back to LA. I feel like that's pretty much where I live full time.
There we
go. Yeah. Joe listening to his trap music over there on the computer. Chill out, Tupac.
All right, thank you.
But yeah, I'm going to LA on January 7th. That just came up pretty recently to do Josh Hart's dog. Josh Hart's one of the up-and-coming stars of the Los Angeles Lakers. So I'm going out there the first week of January, and so that's all I have immediate short term.
Good stuff. All right. So let's get into the introductions, ladies. Caitlyn, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, about your organization, what you do, all that good stuff.
Yeah, sure. So I've been there 4 years, just almost my 4-year anniversary. Very excited. And we have been in our community since 1943. We moved to our new facility in 2000, and ever since then we've been pumping out about 2,000 animals a year, which is really cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
this
awesome.
past year we actually took in and sent out the highest number of animals ever. It was almost 2,500, so we're really proud.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Yep.
So 365, 2,500 divided by 365, that's probably what, 7 dogs a day average?
Not very good at math, but
Probably
whatever you
right
come up
around-
with is probably right.
Right around
6.85. I'm impressed.
All right.
I'm impressed. Wow.
Just so if this whole dog thing don't work out for me,
The guy knows his numbers, that's for sure.
you always know your numbers in business. Quantum physics, here I come.
Well, welcome, Caitlyn.
Thank you.
Lori, tell us a little bit about yourself and your organization and what you guys do.
Sure. I'm Lori Leary. I'm the president of Prince William Humane Society, and we, unlike the Fredericksburg SPCA, are relatively new. We've been around since 2012, and we've been a fundraising organization primarily to support the shelter in Prince William County. A year and a half ago, we opened an offsite adoption center in Dumfries, Virginia, and we've been taking homeless pets from the shelter and various shelters and owner surrenders in the area. Since then, we've done over 400 pets in our first year.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Awesome. And you guys, Nick and Lori, have worked very closely with each other
Yeah, when
over the
did we?
years.
Was it 2012 when we started working together?
Yeah.
Pretty much the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been.
Nick was a
6
co-founding
years.
director for us.
Yeah, I remember. I think I had like a sign that was like 4 locations nationwide or something.
Yeah, it was.
In the beginning. That's how long ago it's been.
Straight
So,
proud, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next one was like 12 locations, and the next
Yeah.
one was.
And now it's 138.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Fredericksburg Off Leash and Fredericksburg SPCA has always worked together closely over the years. So it's our rescue of choice here in town. They by far do the best work, and not discrediting others, of course, but you guys are. I don't even understand how you do it.
I don't either.
I don't know how there are
Some
enough,
days you wonder.
Right?
I don't know how there are
Most
enough
days.
hours in the day
Yeah.
to do what you guys do. I mean, it seems like every week you guys have something going on, an event or so. I can't even keep up with it.
Right.
You know, we try to show up at your events, and it's like, oh, we missed the one yesterday, but there's one tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So,
We'll go to that one.
so what is it? And this is kind of my first question to you guys: is what is it like at your level as directors, running such organized and high drive, energetic rescues that you do? What is it? Is it stressful? Is it rewarding? Tell us the emotions of it.
Yeah, it's all the above. It's really great to be in this position because you follow the trends, you know what is best practice, and you don't have to be antiquated. You can do that, and that's what I love about it is being able to look at what others are doing really well, emulate that, do our own thing really well, and we don't have to ask anyone's permission really. We do what's best, and we do it really well.
Awesome. And Lori, what about you? What do you what's your what's your overall energy level and emotion when you think about Prince William Humane Society?
As she said, it's all of the above.
Yeah.
I mean, you have critical times, you have wonderful times. Every time I see an animal go out the door with a new adoptive family, it's wonderful, and that's why we do what we do. And so as much as it can be a lot of work and a lot of time, it's wonderful every time we see it, and it just brings me back to why I do what I do.
And you guys don't just have a paid staff. You have volunteers that come in on the weekly basis as well and donates their time to washing, bowls and cleaning kennels and,
all that fun stuff.
Doing the dirty work absolutely free just because they want to help the animals, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We rely heavily on volunteers because we are such a small organization. And we couldn't do it without our volunteers. We have people that come in first thing in the morning and walk dogs. We have others that help us close at night. We have people that come in on holidays to give our staff a break so that they can take a day off. So yeah, we love our volunteers, and we cherish their time.
Because I guess the thing is, I mean, there are no holidays for you guys. I mean,
Right.
the dogs are still in
They
there
have to be let
on
out.
Christmas morning
Yeah.
and on New Year's Day with, regardless whether you have a hangover or not from the party the night before, those dogs still have to be walked and kennels cleaned and bowls
Food and,
washed
yeah.
and fed and all that stuff. So, shout out to your teams that do this day in, day out, even the paid ones, because I'm sure they're not rich off of it. So,
Right.
I'm sure they could have easily done a different career field and made more money, but they chose to put the animals first. And, that gets a lot of respect from us. It truly is an amazing thing. Another question I have to follow up on that, guys, is what, if there is one, what is the end goal for your organizations? Is there an end goal?
Yeah, our vision is no more animal suffering.
Okay.
So for us, it's kind of huge and lofty.
Yeah.
And of course, it's dogs and cats, but we're also focusing on other animals, all living creatures. Just someday, we want there to be no more animal suffering at the hands of humans.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Lori?
Basically the same thing.
Yeah.
We're looking to reduce the euthanasia rate in our county, and end the suffering and the neglect and abuse of domestic animals.
Very cool. Quick question for Caitlyn, because I was watching some TV show on animals the other day, and it was it was about an SPCA somewhere out on the West Coast, and they actually had like officers that would go out and like press charges and arrest people for animal cruelty.
Right.
Does your SPCA do that or no?
No, the contract is with Spotsy Animal Control.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got you. So it's kind of the same thing, just it's outsourced to the county.
Basically, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Very cool. So how many dogs are currently in the shelters right now? Do you guys know?
Just our shelter?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we have 131.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That is
Yeah.
a
Most of
ton.
them are in foster, though. Very proud.
Okay, that's good.
60%, y'all.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you? Any idea?
We have capacity for only 11 dogs.
Okay.
Like I said, we're a small organization.
Sure.
And then we have fosters also, and we currently have 5
Okay.
dogs.
And what would you say is your most, I hate to use this word, but it's what I can think of, popular breed that comes into the shelters?
Pit bulls.
Pit bulls.
Well, so we don't label breed because they're all individuals, guys. But,
Sure.
I would say we just call them the big blocky-headed guys. A lot of those.
Okay. So the blockheads.
Yeah.
And same for you?
Same for us, yeah.
What is your opinion? Why is that the case, you think?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're the most popular breed just in the nation. They're the most bred.
I don't know.
The most people
Makes sense.
own them.
So by numbers, it's
Yeah, so if you're
rationally.
talking about, like everyone's favorite dog, you're looking at probably a lab, but the most owned, most bred dog, that's going to be a pit bull terrier or like your American bully.
And same.
Yeah.
And male or female, have you noticed any trend in that?
We get a lot of females who have been bred their whole lives. So
Backyard breeders.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
which is why basically
Assholes.
everyone at the SPCA owns at least one pit bull. most of us, because there are so many of them needing homes, and they're just amazing.
We just actually talk about that really quick. We just had a pretty awesome pit bull come from the Prince William Humane Society named Jasper.
Yeah, cool story.
You want to talk about that a little bit, Lori?
Well, sure. We got Jasper from the shelter. He was a stray. They think he'd been hit by a car, and they picked him up. He wasn't claimed. So we transferred him to our facility. He was an exuberant young dog, to put it mildly. He would go from 0 to 160 in seconds, and he just could not come down once he went off. And it was all play. And I didn't feel that he was a good candidate for a family. He was just out of control. I called Nick in a favor and asked him to come and do a behavioral analysis on the dog and see if he thought, we could train the dog to be a good family dog, or if there was something more in his future. And Nick came out, and you can take it from there.
What happened? This
So Lori called and was like, "Hey, we got this crazy pit bull. It's pretty much, it has too much energy. It's too wild. As it sits right now, it can't be in a home, essentially, right? Like it's too over the top, too crazy. No one can really handle it. So can you come out and just see if there's something that you guys can do to help?" And initially, so I went down, I brought my trainer, Danny Walker, really amazing trainer, great, loves pit bulls, great, has one himself. So I brought him with me. I'm like, "Hey, we got this pit bull. Lori wants us to check out and kind of see if we can do something with this dog." And we both checked him out. We did an eval. We both loved him, fell in love with him. Temperament testing, like super high ball drive, like crazy ball drive. I mean, he's like a Malinois when it came to a ball, like would ignore everything if you had a ball. And I told Lori, I'm like, if I didn't travel so much, I would keep this dog. And I don't even want another dog, but that's how great I thought he was, just super dog. And so I brought Danny down. He's like, "Yeah, this dog is amazing." So what we talked about initially is we were going to do a free 3-week board and train. Like, we'll make them amazing, get them off leash heels, doing some crazy distraction work downtown, doing what we do essentially. And we were going to do that for 2 weeks. And then I was like, this dog's ball drive's so crazy, we'll do a week detection training with him as well. So that way, whoever adopts him, they have a job they can give him to do. They can hide odor on cars around the house and keep him mentally stimulated, so he'll be amazing in obedience, and the owners can have a job. And we were going to donate a treadmill, so that way the owner, whoever adopted him, I was going to give him a free treadmill so that way he could run, and because he was a crazy high energy dog, so pretty much everything to set up a future owner for success: training, mental stimulation, physical activity, the whole package. But it just so happened that week when we were trying to set up the dates for the board and train, my friend JJ Cibrasi from Proven Canine Training in Texas was in town, and I was telling him about this dog. And JJ works with police dogs, trains protection dogs, does detection, does all that stuff. And I'm like, "Dude, like, you should come check out this dog, see what you think." And he did some eval and testing on him, and he's like, "Dude, like, this dog is fucking legit. Like, this dog would be a legit."
It's different from 101.5, ain't it, Caitlyn?
Is that like the scientific term?
Yeah.
For a good dog? Okay.
That's the behavior analysis. And he's
we're gonna put that on our website.
And this dog is fucking legit.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, dude, like, you're right." I'm like, "Dude, trust me. I want you to check out this dog." He's like, "No, you're right. This dog has the drive. It has the temperament." JJ did more stuff than we did. He did a lot of, if you remember, like, he put him next to the lawnmower while, like, the guy's riding this lawnmower, not the blade spinning, for all of you that's going to comment and be a dick. Like, and played tug with him, and he completely ignored it. We got him around vehicles with them running, got him around other dogs because we wanted to see what his temperament was like. As long as you like didn't care about anything, he just wanted the ball. So JJ agreed with my assessment, which reinforced my confidence in it too. And so I reached out to Carol, who's the owner of Throwaway Dogs Project. If you guys aren't familiar with them, go like them on Facebook. I have no affiliation with them, but they're just an amazing organization, so they deserve a ton of credit. Throwaway Dogs Project, the owner Carol. I'll screw up her last name, so I'm not even going to try. It starts with an S. But Skaziak. Carol Skaziak, Throwaway Dogs Project. So I reached out to her, and I was like, Carol, and what Carol does, to kind of backstory, is she owns Throwaway Dogs Project. They take shelter dogs, a lot of pit bulls actually, from shelters. And what she does is her organization provides the training, and they pair them with police departments. So if you guys aren't seeing the correlation, it creates the most incredible win-win situation in the world of dogs. A police department that doesn't have $20,000 laying around to buy a well-trained detection dog gets a well-trained detection dog for free. And then more importantly, that dog that would have been put down because it's too crazy, too high energy, can't be homed, can't be fought, all these things, gets an amazing home with a handler and a job to do, so it has an outlet for that energy. So I reached out to her, and I was like, I got this dog. Me and my trainer Danny, we think it's legit. I had JJ come, he vowed it. He thinks it's legit. Like, I think this dog is perfect for your organization. So she drove, was it Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Yep. So her and one of her trainers drove from Pennsylvania, and I sent her some videos. I'm like, I don't want to waste your time. So I sent her some videos so she could kind of see the dog and see the test we did, and it's driving all that. So she's like, okay, I like what I see, but obviously we need to do our own eval. So she and her trainer drove from Pennsylvania, evaled the dog, and did they take him that day?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, we agree with everyone's assessment. This dog is fucking legit. And and they took the dog, and now Jasper is with a police department.
Kennard, Indiana.
Kennard, Indiana Police Department. Shout out to you guys too. He's with the police department. He went through all the detection training, killed it, and now he's a legit police dog.
That's awesome.
And that the moral of the story that you guys should take away from that is check out Throwaway Dogs Projects. They do amazing stuff. The second thing to take away is there's a lot of amazing dogs in animal shelters that people don't like. How many people would have passed Jasper? Well, all of them did. So that ain't 100% of them. And
nice
he's
little statistic for everyone.
Yeah, 100%. And now he's like a $50,000 dog that's an
awesome.
asset to a police department, getting drugs off the streets, getting cocaine, getting heroin, getting meth, doing all these things. And he was a dog that was locked in a shelter that no one wanted. So what that tells you guys is you can find, no matter what you're looking for, you can, if you're looking for a therapy dog, a service dog, a detection dog, anything, check a shelter first, because this proves there's a lot of amazing dogs in the shelter. So check out your local SPCAs and your local humane societies. And it was a great, and it made like huge national headlines. Yeah. It was really good for you guys, right?
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, Fox News shared it.
Yeah, it's been everywhere.
Huge. It was on TV. It was on so many media organizations saying, look, this pit bull pretty much like rags to riches, right?
Yeah.
He went from being, they take great care of their animals. They have a great facility, great kennel. So it wasn't like he was like, in a box out in the cold or anything, but he went from a shelter to now he's working 5 days a week. He has a handler who spends 7 days a week with him, a family, and so yeah, it's like your stereotypical. I started from the bottom, now I'm here.
Man, I was gonna say that.
Stole her thunder.
We should have named him Drake.
I actually just posted the link to the story here, so if you guys want to check it after the podcast, you can read about it. But yeah, so that's a great example and it gives a lot of credit, because a lot of people, why I love the story more importantly is a lot of people think, oh, pit bulls, like they should be banned, they should be put down, and that just shows you that they're just like any other breed. You can have amazing ones, you can have shitty ones, just like Chihuahuas, German Shepherds, Rottweilers, Min Pins, or insert any other breed here. And it's all about the training and the ownership of the dog.
In the breed's defense, 95, if not higher, % of the time, it's not their fault. It's humans being dicks like humans do. And that's and labeling them more importantly is labeling that breed as, you know, highly aggressive, lockjaw, all this stuff that's just untrue, right? And if it is true as far as the highly aggressive, it's a dog per dog basis, and 9 times out of 10, if not even higher, it's again the human's fault.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I would like to talk to you guys about what your process is to adopt a animal from your shelter. So, Lori, you want to go first, and then we'll switch over to Caitlyn.
Sure. Ours is a really simple process. If you have a dog and you come into our shelter and you're interested, you find one that you're interested in, we have a small exercise yard. We have a meet and greet area. We ask that you take the dog out, take it for a walk, get to know it a little bit, make sure it has the personality that you're looking for. If you have a dog at home, we're going to require you to bring your dog in and do a meet and greet so that we can make sure that those 2 dog personalities are going to get along.
Sure.
Once that's done, if everything goes well, you just fill out the application and pay the adoption fee. All of our dogs and cats are all up to date on their vaccines. They're all microchipped, and they're all spayed and neutered before they go out the door. So it's a very simple process. We don't put up impediments. We don't come and inspect your home. We don't require a 6-foot fence. You know, all the things that people are constantly complaining to us about.
A ton out there that have those very specific requirements. Caitlyn, what is it like for the SPCA?
The same.
Yeah.
Our kind of buzzword
Pretty
is
simple.
Yeah, our buzzwords are low barrier, no barrier. We just hired some matchmakers, so they're people who specifically work with our potential dog owners, cat owners, to match them with what they're looking for. So that's been really successful and cool.
I love how you call them matchmakers.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
know.
I might
It's
steal
so
that
cute.
from you. We call ours adoption counselors.
Or evaluators, I've heard that.
So let me ask, and both of you, because I want to know if it's a kind of a standard or it's just varies. What would you say out of the dogs you adopt out, what % come back?
7%.
Oh, okay.
And the national average is 10%, so I'm very proud.
Okay, that's pretty about the same, roughly.
Ours
the same.
is about 10%.
It's actually
it's
lower than I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's because my wheels are spinning right now, because I'm sure you guys know there's several private rescue organizations out there that have those that extremely tight criteria to adopt one of their dogs. Whereas I've seen I've had friends that were more than more than qualified to adopt a dog and be turned down because of something stupid and small.
Some red tape issue.
Yeah, and it's like, this is a dog that otherwise is just going to sit in a kennel for the rest of its life, that had a possibility of getting out, right?
See, I mean, it's tough for me. I try to, regardless what it is, I always try to be arbitrary, because I think that's the intelligent thing to do, like see things from both sides of the equation.
Sure.
And at one side, I get the requirements, like, all right, you need to have a fenced-in backyard so the dog can run around freely, exercise, not run away, all of that. Like home inspection, make sure you don't live in a 700 square foot condo because it's a high energy dog. So I get all of that side of it, but you kind of popped this whole equation into my head based off what you said. But the flip side to that, it's like, okay, I do have a small yard and I do have only a 900 square foot house, but the dog's currently in no yard and a 5x5 kennel,
right,
21 hours a day. So despite not having those things, it's still a massive upgrade from the dog's current situation. And they don't know, and the problem is that to the other side is you don't know, okay, maybe you turned me down because I don't have a 6-foot fence, but maybe I'm another person's not even interested in that dog
Right.
for another 9 months. And now, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I see both sides, and I'm not sure which one's right, but if I had to pick, I would say yours is probably the right way.
The turnover rate, you know, you said the 7 and the 10% for the dogs that come back. That's
pretty low.
That's way lower than I expected, based off of the simplicity
Yeah.
of adopting a dog.
And what's the reasons they come back? Like, what would you say is the most common reason?
Mostly it's just not a good fit.
Yeah.
And for us,
Like high energy dog, low energy people, something like that.
that or yeah, that's pretty common. But
Yeah.
I think for us, when a dog gets returned, we celebrate that they had a vacation. So
that's a
even
good way
though
to
they're
look at it.
back, for one
that's-
thing, we love them. And
Yeah.
we
Sure.
hate when they leave. We're kind of like, oh, we're happy, but so when they come back, we're happy. We're
You're like,
happy
you had
to
a
see
great
them again.
you had a great run for a month.
Yeah, they had a vacation, and now we try again, and we do it again, and it's
Okay,
fine.
that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
What do you think the most popular reason? I hate to use that word again. Most common reason for you getting the dogs the first time?
Companionship.
No, I mean like
Surrendered.
surrendered. Excuse me.
Oh.
In our county, it might be a little bit different in Fredericksburg, but in our county, we have a high military population.
Okay.
And a lot of the dogs are surrendered because they're being deployed overseas, or they're moving and can't take the dog with them. You know, there's just a lot of owner surrenders due
Sure.
to moving.
Okay.
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing.
Mhm.
Moving is the
A
primary.
lot of behavior, which is why we partner with you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, absolutely. And what about ages? Do you find that the older the dogs are, or you know, more dogs come in a little bit older than the younger ones, or is there a common
Average age,
Yeah.
3.
We get a lot of seniors at our facility.
See, that's weird to me. It's like you've had a dog for like 9 years, or like why?
I just fostered one that was 16 years old.
What's the reason people's getting rid of a dog they've had for 10 years?
We're moving. We can't. We can't take care of
It's
it
so
anymore.
crazy. You
You better find
the-
another house.
Yeah, the excuses are, you know, whatever. But it's like, don't you have family that can take the dog if you're moving?
Yeah.
You know, we'll ask them all different kinds of questions as to why they can't keep the dog with them, or we're starting a pet retention program. So, you know, if it's behavioral issues, we'll tell them we'll help them get a trainer. If it's, you know, if we need to call in a behaviorist, if it's, you know, house breaking issues, whatever you know,
it is,
we're going to we try and work with the current owners to keep the dogs in their home. But when all else fails, you know, sometimes people come in, want to surrender their dog, and we don't argue with them too much, because we can see that dog needs to leave these people and be given another chance at second chance at a better life.
Absolutely. And real quick, for anyone who's watching on Facebook Live right now, thank you, number one. And then number two, if you have any questions for Lori or Caitlyn about what they do or what their organizations do, feel free to comment your question, and we will try to get to it at some point in the show.
What would you say your average age is, really quick?
Like adult, like 3 to 5.
3 to 5.
Mhm.
Or,
Yeah, and they usually have no formal training. So
Yeah.
do you find that's a common?
How do you
Extremely
go? That's what I don't understand, guys. Is how do you go 3 to 5 years with a dog? Because I'm assuming
With no training.
the dogs were in homes previously. And I'm sure that's not the case for all of them, but I'm sure several of them. And you go 3 to 5 years in a home with zero training whatsoever. Because we've obviously evaled a lot of your dogs,
Yeah.
and you know, we've worked with a lot of them in our programs. And I mean, these dogs are 5, 6, 7 years old that literally doesn't know how to sit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's true.
that's insane to me. You know, that's absolutely insane
Yeah,
to me.
we've kind of joked about it before, like, you know, to own a dog in the U.S., they should start like a minimum license. Like, all right, to buy a dog, you have to get like training. You have to show proof of formal training, kind of like a county registration within the first 6 months. Do you honestly think, like, if every dog had to have some formal training, that you would see numbers drop drastically?
Drastically.
Yeah. if
Yeah.
if every single dog had to have like some formal, so that's one of the big reasons you would say is behavior or
Yeah.
stuff like
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah, because it's easy.
I just assume when you're getting a dog, you're also accepting the fact that it is not just a responsibility for your time, but it's a financial responsibility.
Yeah, it's like a kid.
It is like having a kid.
Yeah.
You have to, I believe every owner should put an account to the side for their pets, you know, for emergency vet care or routine vet care, for training, for, you know,
Just like a
food.
kid.
Just like a kid, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's life, right?
Right.
Even though the law classifies it as personal property, which is bullshit, but it's a life, and we bring these dogs in, as Nick always says, to complement our lives, not complicate it. So why not make it easier for yourself so you're not financially struggling when all of a sudden your dog needs his stomach stapled, you
Right.
know, or whatever. So it drives me insane, and I can't imagine you guys deal with this on the daily basis. Like, I would be I'm gray now, but I would be covered in gray. I would be so stressed out all the time because it's like you can only do so much.
Yeah.
And as long as you guys have dogs in your shelters, the job's not done, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you guys, what's the lowest, like, man, we've gotten rid of so many dogs out to homes, like, what's the lowest you've ever been at?
Ooh.
You've cleared them, right?
We've
Yeah.
cleared.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
we've
And did it
had-
last like a day or what?
Yeah.
Well, so we only
An hour.
cleared the adoption floor, right? So no, there's still the intake
Yeah.
room of all the guys waiting for the floor. So,
Oh,
but yeah, we've cleared our entire adoption floor before.
that has to be a very good temporary feeling, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you guys
Yeah,
cleared
we've,
as well?
we've cleared.
That's
but-
awesome.
yeah.
And
It is.
how
It's
long does it
fabulous.
last? Till the next day?
Until we
Yeah.
walk a dog out from the back, basically.
Yeah, we don't have that, but until we transfer, you know, from the shelter or have somebody come in and surrender.
Sure.
Yeah.
Lori, I have a question for you, being a little bit of a smaller organization, being that you guys are new. Because I would have to assume you're getting calls, emails every single day about people wanting to surrender dogs.
Yeah.
And do you go by a first come, first serve? Is there how do you do that? Do you go by what's more prone to be adoptable, or?
Yes, we have we have them set up an appointment to. First of all, we ask them several questions over the phone. Why are you surrendering? What type of a dog is it? What type of a behavioral assessment would you give it? Is it friendly? Is it good with kids, with dogs, with cats? You know, all of that. We are so small that we cannot take behaviorally inappropriate dogs. We can't have dogs that are going to be fighting,
Major
trying
issues.
trying to fight with each other all the time, or that our volunteers can't handle. So we do try to take smaller dogs. We try to take, well, we'll take any age, but we try to take smaller dogs and ones that aren't too difficult to handle. Right now we have, I was telling Nick about, we have a lab Great Dane mix that's 9 months old that was adopted from us as a puppy and brought back because they don't, quote unquote, don't have any time for it. And it's very obvious that they never had any time for
Yeah.
it. This dog is completely out of control, and now that he can jump up, and when he jumps up, he's taller than I am, you know. So now it's a major behavioral issue and training issue that we have to tackle.
Kind of becomes
with
a
this dog.
snowball effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have in our contract that, and I'm sure Kate does too, that if the dog doesn't work out when it's adopted from us, or the dog or the cat, that you will bring it back to us.
Good.
You're not supposed to, you know,
Resell it on Craigslist.
Yeah,
or-
exactly. And we've seen that, or if they take it to a shelter, the original microchip comes back to us, and we will be contacted. That they'll say, "Hey, one
We
of your
just got
dogs."
this dog.
Yeah.
We-
So we'll
and
go get it.
I think that's a good time really to reiterate our last podcast. Our last podcast, we talked about the horrible decision of getting Christmas puppies for most people. And it's for stuff like that. People think like, oh, I'm going to, we hear all the time, or people's like, oh, I'm getting a 8-week-old golden retriever. I told my kids if they get a dog, it's going to be their responsibility. That's laughable, right?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like that's going to last for a solid 2 weeks probably,
Maybe.
and then
Yeah.
your kid, the newness is going to wear off, the coolness is going to wear off, and now it's your responsibility for the next 15 years. You realize that in about 6 months that you don't have time because you got it for your kid and thought they would do it very naively enough, and then it goes to people like them.
And
Yeah.
and you guys, Caitlyn, you guys get animals left on your right in front of your door when your first shift crew comes in, right? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I've heard stories about that. At what point do you call Spotsy Animal Control and say, let's investigate these assholes and arrest them?
Right. Yeah, because our field is so emotionally draining anyway, we try really hard to just give people the benefit of the doubt. And even if I want to scream and punch a hole in a wall, I try really hard to remember that who knows what that person was dealing with. Like, who knows
That's a
and
good
what
point.
brought them to this horrific thing that they've done.
It could just simply be
Yeah.
embarrassed, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
I
we
think that's
try
probably a
so
lot of it.
hard. Because if I got mad like that, I would never get anywhere. So that's how we try to handle it. But there have been times where it's like, okay, this dog is abused and hurt. And then we will try to figure out who left it. And one time we actually did. So it
Really?
just depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, more credit to you guys. There's a 0% chance I would be able to do this. I don't have the patience. Like, I would
Right.
just be like, you're getting rid of the dog. Why? Dick, go home with your dog.
Get it some training.
Yeah, get it some honestly, that would be me.
Take
And
the time.
which is
Yeah.
why I wouldn't last that long as a
Yeah.
director of an SPCA or Humane
Just
Society.
imagine if it was legal to do that with like toddlers and babies.
Yeah.
Like,
I
think about
it
that.
is, isn't
Take
it?
'em
You
back.
can bring them to the fire station.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that.
What?
I don't think it's
Not,
as
Wait.
not
simple.
toddlers,
Am I
Kate.
wrong?
Wait,
No,
what?
no.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
have kids.
No, I think you can drop
that a
off like a
thing?
baby. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard
What do
of
you mean
something
drop
like
off a what
No,
the
you
fuck you
can't.
guys are fucking with me?
No, it's true.
Yeah.
No
Google it.
chance.
that. Google
Yeah.
like
I'm going
Google
to.
like drop off baby at firehouse.
Yeah.
Where was that 12
No.
years ago?
No.
I'm kidding. Love my daughters.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Yeah, that's a
insane to
thing.
me.
Google
Yeah.
drop off baby fire station.
I
Like Indiana, like I just pulled up. Indiana has a safe haven law that allows parents to surrender their newborn less than 30 days old
Okay.
at a hospital, fire station, or police
Shut
station, and place them in what they call they're like nice setups, but place them in what they call a baby box.
shut up.
So you just like kind of like put them in the mailbox, and then the next day, or I don't know how it works, but the next day
This can't
someone's
be
like,
real.
"Oh,
You
cool,
guys-
like 7-month-old," and then
It's
Yeah.
like the
Yes.
drawers at the library, you
Yeah,
know, that you pull
exactly.
out, put your books
Yeah.
in, and shit.
it's called the safe haven law.
Yeah.
Safe
It
haven
exists.
baby boxes.
I
Anyone,
just
anyone
figured it'd be.
Google that.
I mean, I knew you could adopt your kids out if you couldn't parent or
No, you
whatever.
just put 'em in
but
the
I,
mail.
I literally didn't think it was just putting them in a FedEx box. No, I'm
That-
kidding.
it-
Or
it's-
dropping them off at a fire department. It's like, hey
Yeah.
guys, I just had this baby a few weeks ago, and she cries a lot, and
I'm gonna put her in the mail.
And if you don't mind,
Yeah.
here she is.
No.
I'm showing them the picture of
Yeah.
the safe haven baby boxes
Yeah,
where you can
that
drop off your kids.
blows my mind.
I wow.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
We are a terrible species.
Yeah.
I can
Oh, yeah.
confidently
We are
say that
literally
now.
the worst.
We are the worst,
The
right?
worst.
Like I thought, man, I felt bad for dogs. Now I feel bad for babies.
Yeah, but I think that's extremely
I was going to
rare.
say, I don't think
Yeah,
there's as many babies dropped off as there is dogs and cats.
No, yeah, there's not.
I wonder what their return rate is. I shouldn't joke.
No,
about
but
that.
people just don't realize. We talked about this last time, so I'm not going to harp on it. And you kind of touched on it, Lori. Is people don't realize how it's a good amount of work. You know, people watch a commercial of the cute golden retriever puppy popping out of the Christmas present, and the kid's face is lighting up, and that's extremely temporary.
Yeah.
And then it's a dog that got to be housebroken, a dog that's chewing on all your shit, a dog that's got to be walked 3 times a day, a dog that when you go out of town for vacation, you got to find someone that like, you got a dog you got to go to the store for every couple weeks and buy food, like, and that's why people get rid of them, is I think they like the idea and then they forget how much work that it actually is to
Right.
to own a dog.
Yeah, it's the cuteness factor.
Yeah.
And it just seems like in today's world, everybody's so busy. You know,
it's crazy.
It's crazy busy, and they don't have time for a dog.
Yeah.
You know, you really have to take the time to be with that animal and love it and walk it and get it the exercise and the food and the vet, visits and stuff. It's just not, I just want to take a dog home or a cat home. And I mean, cats are a little bit easier than dogs, but, it's just not, it's cute, let me take it home.
Yeah.
And that's one reason, I foster seniors a lot.
Yeah.
I have 3 senior dogs, and I foster seniors at our place all the time. But I love the puppies when we get puppies in. We don't get them very often, and I just love it when we do. I love puppy breath. I love puppy kisses. I love the whole thing.
Nibbles.
But I do not want to.
You don't want it one.
Start with a puppy again. It's just a lot of work.
Well, it's just like, people just need to be realistic with themselves. It's like, just like Jasper. I love Jasper. Danny loved Jasper. Like, Danny super loved Jasper, if you remember.
He did.
But we were realistic. I'm like, I would keep this dog. But I told you, I'm like, if I didn't travel so much.
Right.
So you just got to be realistic about it. If you know you're a busy person, maybe right now in life a dog isn't best for you.
Yeah.
And you just got to be realistic. And you can't. And the problem is people get a dog for someone else, and that's generally a bad. Dogs generally don't make good gifts. Like, here, I'm going to give you a monthly bill and a responsibility for the next 15 years.
Yeah.
Happy
Pass.
birthday.
I'll take like what is a Fitbit?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
like,
take that.
I'll take an Amazon gift card. Like, give me that for Christmas, not a 15-year responsibility and payment. And
Yeah.
Well, we won't do that. I mean, if somebody comes in and says, I want a gift from my girlfriend or my boyfriend or
Oh, that's
whatever,
good.
we say no.
It's got to be for
We
Yeah.
do
you.
it.
You know.
Because real quick, so
7%.
in-
That's all you need to say.
Yeah,
Listen,
Yeah.
numbers
in-
don't lie.
In the United States, there's 85 million homes with pets. 1.5 million pets are euthanized a year. The issue is we need adoption to be cooler
Yeah.
because there are families, they're not too many pets. It's just that we need to make it cooler to adopt.
Do you, and I don't know if you all actually have data on this, but do you see a difference in the return rate from someone, like I'm buying it for myself versus Joe's buying his for his girlfriend? Do you see, like, the ones that were bought for someone come back a little bit more, or really no measurable
Yeah.
data, or?
Well, so the ASPCA did
Be interesting.
a long study about this, and
Oh,
they
great.
found that there is no discernible difference between why you got the animal, how you got the animal, what hoops you had to jump through. None of that really matters when
It's
it
all the
comes to
same.
return rate. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's so that just shows that. So I guess that kind of proves that if you were on the fence, that requiring the 6-foot fence, the 5,000 square foot mansion, all of those things has been proven to not
Exactly.
actually reduce anything or benefit anything.
Well,
Yeah.
and
So
the
that's
price,
interesting.
the price too, that people either pay for a
Doesn't
dog
matter.
or pay the adoption fee, whatever it is, that doesn't matter because we get a lot of flack whenever we do
The free.
the free adoptions. I mean, people are always like, "Oh, you shouldn't."
They
do
need it
that
for
if-"
free. They can't afford a dog to begin with. and-
Exactly.
yeah.
And like she said, the cooler
study's
the
been done on
adoption, the
this.
study's been done. People that get it for free don't love them any less.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh well, I got this for free, I can discard it easier.
Oh, that's
you know.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. to
Let's
know.
let's get deep on.
Oh
in-
shit!
into
It's
something
getting
here.
deep. Let me grab a drink of water for this.
What ultimately made you guys take the career path that you chose?
Oh, y'all, I've been like when I was 3, I was rescuing frogs and turtles.
So this
and-
was just something that
Yeah.
it's been with you your entire life, and you took over the SPCA 6, 7, 8?
Me?
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Was it? I thought it was longer than that. So you've turned that thing
Around.
completely, like
Yeah.
a complete 180. Like I never heard Fredericksburg SPCA prior to you coming in, so now I hear it literally on every radio station and on our
Clients,
on
emails,
our business Facebook
yeah.
page, everything, everywhere. So congratulations on the success you and your team has had in those short 4 years.
Thanks.
And what about you? How did you get into this and become a director?
Mine was a little more tragic than that. I've been an animal lover my whole life too, and rescues and stuff. But I lost a puppy, 18 months old. He drowned in the lake out behind our house one January morning, and when he fell through the ice, and it was just had such a horrific impact on me. I just decided I needed to do something more than just, find another dog, and I needed to help in some way. So I started an organization to help low-income pet owners spay and neuter their pets or get some medical services for their pets. And we did that for about 5 years, and then I was working with the director at the Prince William County Animal Shelter, and they are grossly understaffed, underfunded, underbudgeted, and she was complaining that their euthanasia rates are high. They don't have any way to take care of their sick and injured animals that come in. So if they couldn't get a local vet to do it for free pro bono, then they were euthanizing animals that were coming in with broken legs and stuff like that. And I was just, that's so sad. It's so, it can be changed. So what I did is she and I went together, and Nick was part of it, and we created the Prince William Humane Society, and we had fundraising events, and we had programs, Seniors for Seniors, to get more senior pets adopted, our PAWS Fund, Poor Animal Welfare and Surgical Fund, to take care of the pets that were coming in injured or diseased or whatever, that didn't need to be put down, they just needed emergency medical care. Our Warrior Buddies program, all these things that were kind of local to our area and required of our shelter that they couldn't promote and they couldn't subsidize. That's what we started doing for them. And over the years, it just became really obvious that it didn't matter how much money we were throwing at the shelter, not enough animals were getting saved. Sure. And we could do more by opening an offsite adoption center. So it's just kind of snowballed. Yeah, it's gone from one thing to the next, and now we have a brick and mortar place of our own.
Congratulations to you guys as well. And how long have you been around?
My original one started in 2005. Prince William Humane Society started in 2012.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Congrats to you guys again.
And then the brick and mortar is like, what, a year at this point?
Yeah, our grand opening was August 12th of 2017, so it's Very just cool. been a little over a year.
And obviously, I've been to the Fredericksburg SPCA brick and mortar, and man, if do you guys give tours of that thing? I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really, really well put together establishment. Like, it's very positioned. Everything's where it should be. You know what I mean? Very clean too. Like, you walk into some shelters and you're like, man, these dogs are probably better off living in the woods than in here,
Yeah.
But yours is extremely clean, so that's that I'm sure that's a task that with as many dogs as you guys have, coming in and out. So essentially, the reason why I asked you guys that question is because I feel like, obviously I've never been in your position, but I feel like it takes a special individual to do what you guys do, to the level that you guys do, because you don't really answer to anybody. I mean, everything falls on you. If your success, your failures, and when I say yours, I mean your organizations, it falls on you guys. So I can't imagine the stress that comes along with that. And I wanted to kind of prove a point that at the end of the day, it is a passion field.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It has to be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way that you could do this just because there was a job opening and you thought it'd be kind of cool, right? I mean, this is something that you look for, and you say, because you came up here from North Carolina, I want to say. So I'm assuming you saw the position open, you're like, that's got my name all over it.
Right.
I'm going for it, and obviously they made the right choice. So it is definitely a passion field, right?
Definitely.
And not just at your level, but at every level. The volunteers, the paid staff, the vets that come in.
Absolutely.
Nobody's getting rich at the animal shelters. Let's just say that.
No.
So,
and if you come into it thinking, oh, I've got this job, without having the passion, you're not going to last.
Right.
So what do you guys want for Christmas?
Oh, deep.
Oh, wow. I want to not have to worry about money anymore at the SPCA. So if you're listening and you just won the lottery, that's what I'd like for Christmas. Thank you.
And what do you personally want?
Personally?
Yeah.
I mean, that is what I want.
That's awesome.
That is what I want.
That's awesome.
Okay.
That's the answer I expected, actually. Lori, how about you?
Well,
Top that one.
I can't. Ditto. Yeah, ditto. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Kate, but
It's the same,
we
right?
are
It's
a
your life.
donation-driven organization, and that's how we survive, and that's how we, pay for everything is through people's donations and business sponsorships, and so.
And would you say that it's true that the saying that every dollar counts?
Oh,
Whether
always.
you can give $5 or 20 or
Absolutely.
1,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I had a cool idea of doing. We
this
talked
is
about
good,
it on
yeah.
the last show. We're not gonna be able to do it this year, I don't think, because there's not that much longer.
Yeah, there's
this
like
year.
3 weeks left.
But at some point early next year, doing a 24-hour telethon, like the old Jerry
Yeah.
Lewis thing
That'd
back
be
in the day.
cool.
We'll do a 24-hour podcast. We'll have guests coming in and
Yeah.
out, and
Some celebrity guests.
and maybe use your guys' organizations as the receivers of whatever donations we get. We got to figure out the logistics of it, obviously, with
That would be
phone
awesome.
calls.
Yeah.
but
Yes, please.
I think
We'll
it'd be
take it.
cool.
Thank you very much.
Do it for 24 straight hours. I think it'll be cool for like the first
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
couple hours, and then we'll be like, huh.
Have
No,
you ever
but-
done a 24-hour telethon?
No, I have been up for 24 hours several times,
Not the same thing.
but not for a telethon.
Oh my god.
When I was a kid, we used to do the Jerry Lewis
Yeah.
telethon, 24 hours, and
Yeah,
it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
yeah.
Yeah,
So anyhow, we were tossing around that idea last
I love
episode.
it.
So you guys think it'd be a
absolutely.
good thing to do?
Oh
Yeah.
my God,
Okay,
that would
cool.
be amazing.
Maybe I'll,
that would
maybe
really
I'll
be amazing.
Yeah,
dig in.
I think it'd be really cool for us. I think it'd be fun too.
Yeah, I
and
did too.
using our resources and network of people, and I think we could make it pretty successful.
We're gonna
I
have
try
to
to get some of my celebrity clients in to take some calls. I think there's a lot we could do that make
That
it
would
pretty
be
cool.
awesome.
Yeah. We'll have to do some pre-planning and make sure that we have some guests lined up, because I'm sure people don't want to tune in and listen to our mouths for 24
I know.
hours. I
I was gonna say I know I wouldn't.
Get
So,
some of your celebrities to do the bite suit.
that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Because we could. I mean, technically, we can take the show wherever we want,
Yeah.
as long as there's Wi-Fi. So it is set up for mobile, even though 90% of the time we don't have a clue what we're doing. So, anyhow, we'll talk about that off air and maybe plan something for early next
Yeah,
year.
that would be
And if
awesome.
people want to donate, what's the easiest way? Websites?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's
fredspca.org/donate.
fredspca.org/donate.
pwhumane.org/donate.
There you go, PWHumane. And we'll post the links
Absolutely.
below after the podcast as well.
Now, is this a busy time for you guys right now? Is it do you feel like it's a little bit slower around this time of the year?
Yeah. I would say from about November till January, things slow down.
Same.
Yeah.
And then of course you guys get all the Christmas puppies that people realize they didn't want.
Yeah. It's kind of like Christmas for us, though. Like,
Yeah.
oh, look at the
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
February
Over
is
and
our
over
Christmas. Yeah.
And then what about money, on the money side of things? Has there ever been a time where you guys are like, all right, we're straight, we don't need any more donations?
I doubt it.
Right? Never,
Never.
right?
No.
Never, right?
In
That does
fact,
not happen.
So it's a constant struggle.
Yeah, we just opened our community medical center, so basically from October on, I've just been in a constant state of like complete panic.
Yeah. I can't even imagine
Yeah.
what that's.
Do you guys notice in December does donations slow down?
Oh gosh, no.
No.
It's end of year giving, so.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So you actually see the opposite then.
We
Mhm.
get
Oh, that's
about
awesome.
40% of our donations in the last.
Oh,
6
so this
months
is
of the
happy
year.
time for you guys.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
that's awesome.
It just started. And the other thing is, like, we're never going to be straight because if we have more money than we used to have,
You would do
we're just
more-
going to do more awesome
Yeah, you would
stuff.
grow, expand,
Yeah, so
and
we
take
would
on more
never-
dogs. And,
Right, we
yeah.
would never not need help.
And to clarify, it's not just money, right? So people can donate dog
Yeah.
food.
all kinds of kennels. I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
I would assume,
time.
right? Yeah,
We need
time.
a transport van badly. If anybody has a van out there that it runs well, we're looking for a transport van so that we can go pick up the animals from the shelter. Right now, I'm exhausting my car and my staff's cars and the volunteers, you know, to run and pick up animals and transport them to them from the vet and to them from the shelters. And
Yeah, if you're a business, you can put your logo on it.
absolutely, we'll be happy to put your logo on it, but we could really use that. So
Speaking of businesses, I'm curious about this. How much of the community is helping you guys business-wise? How many are there? Do you get a lot of support from other local businesses in your area?
When I first started, no. In fact, I was kind of surprised that we didn't have more business partners. But now, oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, I noticed like when we sponsor some of your events and stuff, like there's a shit ton of companies on the back of those shirts. Like, where's Off Leash at, man?
Well, y'all were big on our last shirt, so thank you.
We do. Oh, you're very welcome. We do what we can. We love working with you guys. And same business support is pretty good.
yeah,
or?
we have decent business support, and we're working on it all the time. You know, it's hard. It's hard to get out in the community, and
Those are the guys you need to go after. They're the ones who need the write-offs, right? So
yeah.
you need to get a volunteer that just goes business to business,
Yep.
trying to get
Yeah.
their money. So
Introducing us to the community. We're all the way on the west end, or the east end, sorry. Get my east and west mixed up. On the east end of the county. So businesses all the way out on the west end, you know, they don't even know about us,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really hard, and we're a huge county. So we're constantly trying to get exposure to the Prince William County businesses.
And has it ever been? Has there ever been a situation to where donations have been very light for a few months, and you're stressing, going, man, I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be able to keep this thing going. Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
I would have to
absolutely.
assume that's the biggest
Yeah.
biggest fear for both of you, right?
It's basically every September through November because people are just getting back from vacation. They're getting in the groove. The holidays are coming up. So, yeah, there's a lull few months every year. So,
Well, I think the worst part of that is that June, July, and August is probably some of our highest
Intakes.
surrender rates because, I mean, I'm afraid of what Joe's going to do here, but people go on vacation, they come and surrender their pet because they don't want to pay a pet sitter.
Dicks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
That's
true.
absurd.
101
It's absurd.
Juliet Court. Come
You
see
know.
me.
Yeah, and we get a lot of surrenders in the summer, and then people go back to school. Everything's changing in the August and September, and it's really slow, volunteer wise, donation wise. Those are really tough months for us.
And this is my final question. I'm not sure if Nick has any more lined up, but if you could change anything in your organization, and a realistic change, so not like one very wealthy family with
right.
90,000 square foot house adopts everyone. If you could change one thing for the long run about your organization, what would it be?
Man.
We don't play around on the dog show.
Wow.
Getting deep.
I would want to know that I had a funding stream to pay,
Yeah.
enough staff to make sure that
So-
it was always covered and the job was always done.
So maybe that's the better question, Caitlyn, is if you could take one worry off of your shoulders,
Oh, gotcha.
what would it be? And it can't be all the dogs being adopted out, because we know,
Yeah,
It's gotta be
unfortunately,
realistic.
that's not going to happen.
I guess if I could change one thing, it would be that we could be more helpful in a bigger, more impactful way to everyone in our community that needs it. Because we do have to say no, unfortunately, frequently, and
Yeah.
I don't like doing that. So I don't know what the answer is. Is it more staff? Is it more money? I don't know. But I want to not say no, basically.
So maybe explain that to the people now that are listening. For those that are saying, "Oh, they're an SPCA, they're supposed to take in every dog," blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Because those people are
Oh,
out
yeah,
there.
they're
They're
out
we
for
hear it all
sure.
the
They're
time.
for sure out there.
There's dickheads everywhere.
Explain now why you have to turn dogs away.
Yeah.
Capacity issues? Or?
Well, it's mostly just safety. None of us are really able to handle, like, say, a human aggressive animal. So that's pretty much a no every time. And I wish we could do more, but at this point, we just can't.
Sure.
So that's a big one. And then sometimes people call us and say, my dog got hit by a car. I have no funds. Can you help me? And, like, we can help 2 out of 10, but I want to get to the day where we're helping 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can't even help the 2 out of 10. I mean, we literally can't. We have our pause fund, and it's constantly, we're tapped out. We can go 2 months without a pause fund case, and then we'll have 4 in a row. And we just got, I don't know if you've seen our Facebook page, but we just got this little dog they named Drumstick at the vet. It's just a little puppy, and he was caught in a coyote trap.
Oh, wow.
And so the gentleman found him, and his little paw was just huge, and managed to get the trap off of him and took him to the shelter. And they called us. We immediately took him to Minnieville Animal Hospital, who's one of our partner vets, and they had to amputate his little foot.
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah, I could not. It was really badly damaged. So he's got his foot's been amputated, and now we're having a prosthetic made for him. So, you know.
When you guys work with vets like that, do they? I assume they can't do it pro bono, but do they give you guys like a discount? How does that work?
Yeah, ours give us a discount, and it just depends on the vets we're working with. We typically work more with the ones that give us the better discounts, obviously. Yeah. And some vets won't give us any discount at all.
Oh, really?
Or 10% or something like that.
That's kind of a dick.
Crazy.
That's kind of a dick move, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean,
Y'all
it
listening?
What's that?
Said y'all listening?
Yeah, I mean, this one little dog, Drumstick's going to cost us close to $3,000.
Wow.
You know, so that's a huge hit on our pause fund and on our donations, because, you know, we get 20, 25, 100, you know, so it takes a while to build up that 3,000. At the same time, we had 2 dogs come in the week before that. One was an FHO and one was a CCL repair, so we're over $1,000 each. So just in 1 month, we got hit with over $5,000 in pause fund bills. So there's never enough money.
Yeah, sounds like it. Well, hopefully 2019 brings heavy donations from I'm calling you guys out, local businesses of Prince William and Fredericksburg. Help, right? You need your write-offs right now. Yep. I know that. Send it to these guys. You know, there are hundreds of dogs that are in these shelters that are going to spend Christmas with a volunteer instead of their family. So, you know, help these guys out, help these dogs out by getting into a home, keeping them healthy while you know, the rescues are holding them and taking care of them, and then get them into a home where they can spend the rest of their lives with their family of their choosing. So
I would also say that we can always, I know both of our organizations can always use more volunteers,
yep,
and fosters. And, you know, if you can't adopt, but you have room in your home temporarily, you know, come take one of our dogs or cats out of the shelter, you know, and give them a home for a while until they get adopted.
And you never know, you may end up falling in love with the dog and keeping them yourself.
Failed fosters.
Yeah, your favorite.
Hey,
right?
my wife's 1 for 1 on that. That's why we don't foster anymore. So, shout out to Jaeger. All right, so this is the time where I want to give you guys the opportunity, take as much time as you want to plug, shout out, thank, whatever you want to do. To whoever you want. So, Lori, you want to go first? And
oh my goodness.
Okay, Caitlyn, how about you? Are you prepared?
Yeah. I've been thinking about this the whole time. I don't know if people know this or not, but we have rebranded. We don't really use the word shelter. We call ourselves an animal resource center.
Sorry.
Oh no, whatever.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine. But what we want people to know is that we're not a place to drop off animals and pick up animals and that's it. We're a place to come and hang out. You can sit with the cats. You can rent a dog for the day. You can just come hang out with one of the directors, see what we do, help us out. We just really want to be a fun place for the community to come and just recognize that we do so much more than warehouse animals, basically. Like, we're a really fun place to be. And when you walk in the door, you're going to get a huge greeting, and it's a great place. So come see us for any reason at all. Even if you don't want to adopt, just come hang out. We love it.
Awesome. Lori?
Cool. So, similarly, we call ourselves the Adopt Shop. We're not a shelter, and we don't look like one.
No.
We're bright colors and
very clean, nice kennels, all the whole nine.
yeah, purple and green and blue, and it's
Modern.
really it's very
Yeah.
fun. We think it's a fun place to be, and we always are inviting people to come in and do whatever they want. You take the dogs for a walk. Kate created that program in this area, and we copied it. Thank you, Kate. You know, we're two different counties, so you know we have two different sets of volunteers and everything, so it works very well. We want to be the resource for Prince William County. We want to be the resource for the domestic animals of Prince William County, and do whatever we can, you know, to help the owners and the animals out. So.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys not only for coming on the show, but also for what you guys do on the daily basis. I do recognize the responsibilities that are on your shoulders, and it takes definitely takes a special person to do that. So thank you to you guys, and then shout out to obviously all your volunteers and staff, and I wanted to quickly talk about your spay and neuter. You have a vet coming in.
Yeah, Dr. Jones. We opened in October.
Okay.
And so we've called it the Community Medical Center. We do offer low-cost spay-neuter, but we also offer wellness, preventative care, sick medicine as well. A lot of times animals will suffer because people can't afford to go to the vet, and so we offer lower-cost care for those animals. So like itching, if they're sick, if they're vomiting, we're here to help out.
So is this open to every animal or every dog, no matter where they were adopted from? Or okay, so it's not just to the FXBG SPCA.
Right, like any companion animal. And on Thursdays it's totally walk-in, so you can just walk in with anything at all, and as long as it's not like a leg hanging off, we are going to help you for a much lower cost.
Awesome, for sure. Awesome. Shout out to the doctor.
And are they doing that like for you guys like at a discounted rate as well, or the doctor?
Well, it's actually not separate from us. We're the same entity, so it's in the same location as our shelter. So he's employed by the SPCA. It's all one.
Wow.
Shout out to what is it,
Awesome.
Dr. Jones?
Dr. Jones.
Shout out Dr. Jones.
The coolest dude. He's like got all these tats, and like he's so friendly, but just so smart and great at what he does too.
I've heard tatted people are smart and great, so
I have to agree.
Rumor, so
I've seen exceptions to the rule.
Anyways, fair. Nick, anything coming up with you that you want anyone to know about?
No, not really.
Cool.
Like I said, I have the Josh Hart LA Lakers seminar early next month. That's pretty much all I got. Trying to lay low for the rest of December, but I said that
good luck.
Beginning of December, and I just got back from a trip, so we'll see how that works out. But that's the plan.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean I can't really think of anything. Anything crazy?
You're doing something I want to kind of talk
doing?
about. You are throwing $2,500 on the line.
Oh yeah, that's
for
true.
Christmas morning. This is kind of cool. Maybe get your followers involved in this. Listen to this.
So if you guys look, I'll try to post it. I'm looking for the video really quick. I did a video on Saturday. If you guys kind of scroll down through our timeline, I did a video on Saturday. It's we're giving back this Christmas. Nominate a dog-related nonprofit and tell us why. We will pick a winner on Christmas morning. It's in the video below, and we're going to donate $2,500 to that organization on Christmas morning. So if you guys get a chance, definitely check that out in the comments or the timeline below, and you will see that. And as they said, donate to the
donate.
Yeah, and we're gonna kick it off after this podcast. We're gonna donate $1,000 to each of your organizations as well.
Yay! Thank you so much.
You are very welcome.
Awesome.
So if you guys can add in anything to that, $1, $2, $5, $10, anything, that will definitely help both of them greatly.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you.
And as far as the dog show, next week we have Aaron Taylor coming back from Ridgeside K9. He's always fun to chat with. They're doing a lot of new and big things, so we'll bring him in, talk some dog behavior and business stuff. And then I believe that's probably going to be our last episode of the year. One quick thing I want to talk about is today marks our 1 year anniversary of the dog show. Episode 1 was released 1 year ago today. So our goal in this was to do it for, and sorry for everybody who's just looking at me, all of our other cameras shit the bed. So, but our goal when we got into this was said, no matter what, we're gonna do it for 12 months, no matter how it goes, whether it's amazing or whether it's terrible.
It sucks,
we're gonna do it for 1 year. And well, you know, we've had a pretty good following, and so we're going to continue it this year. At the end of this year, literally in like 2 weeks, our studio's getting a makeover, so we're going to bring in 2019 with a
bigger and better,
with a new vibe. So thank you to all of our supporters as usual. Please support us the most by downloading and subscribing to our actual podcast on iTunes, Google Play, or iHeartRadio. Usually the episodes are up the following day after we go live on Facebook. Again, thank you to you guys for listening, and we will see you next week.
Later, guys.
Yeah, Nick and Joe, you ready? Let's go. This is the dog show with Nick and Joe. Off the chain, it's off the leash. Giving some tips and giving advice to help you train your dog. Come see, yeah, it's the podcast. Don't delay, underlay. It's on 2 p.m. every Friday. Time to get hype and excited, yeah. Take your dog to the next level. Nick and Joe, they the best at it. All about K9 training, informative and entertaining. Keep it going, so motivating. Give you everything you need and make a wild dog turn super chill and obedient. Nick and Joe, welcome to the dog show. Yeah, download it fast, the dog show podcast. When it comes to K9s, this is what you want. Hit the dog show podcast.com. Whoop. The dog show podcast with Nick and Joe. Let's go.
That's me. That's me rapping.
Is it really?
No chance. That'd be cool though, wouldn't it?
It would.
Pretty cool.
Say, now you can
I was
write
pretty
one for
sure that
us.
was not true.
I was pretty sure that was not true. All right.